Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' was cracking. It's D. About to react to this vid by Deleted. It's titled "The Racist YouTuber Packout," and "What's the Dirt" is on the thumbnail. I see he did another video on "What's the Dirt" like a week ago, but somebody told me to check this one out, so we're just gonna go with this one, and maybe he'll summarize what that one was about. I don't know what's happening, but I do know he was getting a lot of backlash over like the breakdown videos. The one that he did on Drake was very sketchy, and a lot of people complained about it. But yeah, let's hear what he has to say about him and what's going on. Let's watch.
Warning. This video is for comedy purposes only, so loosen up. None of this is factual, just widely opinionated jokes served extra spicy for your entertainment. It's satire, it's cringe, and it's all good fun. If you're sensitive, overly emotional, or the type to clutch your pearls at the slightest hint of humor, this is your cue to exit. Nah, seriously though, get out. Save your tears, because they're not welcomed here.
I mean, if you don't like the info, just call me a culture vulture.
Just call me a culture vulture. Just call me a culture vulture.
Just call me a culture vulture. That'll make you feel better.
Warning. Your local county authorities have issued a civil danger alert.
1, 2, the minutes coming for.
Coming up next on the Villain Network.
Matthew, you really thought you could sneak around my channel, spread lies, and just dip out like nothing was going to happen? Nah, negative. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the Packout. Basically, it's a segment where I make it feel like it's a horror film, because it is going to get scary. This ain't about being righteous, it's not journalism, and it damn sure ain't reported. This is about bullying these bums, usually red pill, PDFs, abusers, or translucents. A translucent is a prejudiced person. Think of it as justice, but with the toxic twist. I'm vengeance, bitch. Basically, a lot of cringeworthy shit like that. You see how that was just cringe as hell? It's supposed to be cringe, okay?
Fold that bitch no yoga mat. Check.
This Joe Dirt in the face ass, Leave It to Beaver ass, Happy Gilmore looking ass, Uncle Father in the face ass. Hey, he for real look like the type that always asks for the aux cord just to put on Family Matters and start reflecting about what went wrong. So let me break this down for y'all, because apparently Matthew out here playing games. This guy caused a whole mess of drama recently, proving once again his obsession and flat out prejudiced thoughts that are on a level that should come with a restraining order. Now, for those new to the fiasco, let me catch you up, because not everybody's been here since the beginning. Consider this like the Dragon Ball Z flashback segments. Months ago, I dropped my first video calling out Matthew, aka What's the Dirt, for some wildly prejudiced remarks he made about Kendrick Lamar, and also a respected hip-hop journalist and YouTuber that goes by the name of The Company Man. My receipts stay undefeated.
Tiger in particular is a well-documented milkman who, like Kendrick, has a past of infidelity. I mean, Kendrick might just be a milkman, right? A closeted milkman.
And after that, it's over. You wake up and you don't even know what you done.
I missed the show. I wish they'd bring it back.
Dude is like Carlton from Fresh Prince, and you're trying to frame this as me being racist.
My family growing up didn't use the N-word. I made a whole video on my channel. I didn't say the N-word for 20 years.
Bro, I could kind of tell.
That's such a goofy ass thing to say. I can't stand some of these people, and I try to be open-minded when you have these people who are not of color, okay, who are not black, who, you know, want to speak on this very black genre, especially when things are mentioned that are very heavy in black culture. A lot of them don't understand the nuances and things that are, you know, spoken about. But I try to be open-minded and try to, you know, give them a chance. But then stuff like this is said. What? I could tell you don't say the N-word. Oh, because you're so well-spoken and you're so put together. Of course, you're not saying the N-word. Like, you're not cool enough to say. What are we talking about? Like, this is such a wild sentiment for you to say. Like, crazy. And it's so funny, ha ha ha.
And what's also really clever here is that Drake is 37 years old, and he says the N-word 37 times on this track.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to. This is what I remember he said. That was crazy.
And I believe his reasons for doing this is he's basically saying the word for every year that he's been alive to symbolize that he was indeed born black.
Boy, if you don't...
Although Kendrick's child isn't anywhere near to as light as Drake's, Drake leverages this to subtly accuse Kendrick of hypocrisy. This is Kendrick's reality, right? He does have mixed children, and he does seem to prefer lighter complected women. Kendrick really wants to be with white chicks, right? That's truly what he wants. But because he's Kendrick Lamar, he has to hide it. He's embarrassed to be seen because Drake is half black.
What? Okay, yeah, I didn't see that clip. That is crazy. What do you mean he clearly prefers lighter chicks because his wife is of lighter complexion? Do you know the other lighter chicks that he's dated? I don't know of anybody else that he's talked to. But for you to say that is crazy. He really wants to be with a white girl. What?
The other side of his family uses it. Kendrick had to frame those lyrics like he had big plans and messing with thick queens with the weave looking on point. But in reality, he was gripping on a blonde ponytail and balls deep in skinny white ass.
What the fuck is this nigga talking
Oh
about?
my God.
Just call me a culture vulture.
So that video went viral, and the internet did what it does best: dragged his
As
ass.
it
Content
should.
creators
That's
from all
crazy.
corners jumped in. His credibility went up in flames, and his channel hasn't been the same since. Fast forward 3 to 4 months later, and my supporters start hitting me up like, "Hey yo," they were like, "Hey, this dude Matthew was out here wilding, talking big shit about you in another streamer's live, sending me messages, tagging me on Twitter." And sure enough, this dude Matthew was planting seeds about my identity like he's auditioning for Gossip Girl.
Your identity.
Shut up, bitch.
Super child. He came with that baggie. What's the dirt came with that baggie? Making fun of others, their physical appearances and how they speak while hiding your own face. Oh, making fun of others, their physical appearances and how they speak while hiding your own face and modifying your voice is the epitome of an insecure man. Pretty much the definition. Yo, Shanell, what's the dirt coming from that bag? He gave me $27 in Canadian money. So that's like $35 US.
Matthew thought he was slick, calling himself exposing my voice mod. Bruh, it's not even a mod. I pitched my voice down by 1, that's it.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
And you telling me that you do your own edits, I'm starting to call that cap, because you would know that. Don't be like Drake, man, lying on your craft and having a whole team doing your edits, boy. Anyone that edits any type of video or audio can tell that it's pitched down by 1. So naturally, I drop a warning video, you feel me? I say, hey, look, stop talking shit in the chats or get packed out, Matthew. Those are your options. Stop talking shit or get packed the fuck out. Because I bully the bullies, bro. He messages another YouTuber who I won't name and starts planting more messy seeds. And this time he drags KB Goes Live into it. KB, by the way, is a white content creator who does his own thing and had nothing to do with this nonsense. But Matthew was messy as hell and claimed that KB was pretending to be black and running my channel.
Just call me a culture vulture.
I can't make this shit up. By the way, before we move on, just know this. KB is also from the South with an accent that you can very much hear. And I'm from California. You see?
Yeah, I'm about to say, he has a West Coast accent. He has Bay Area in the beginning, so he might be from the Bay. I need to hear this KB, man. Please play his voice.
How uneducated he is about culture. It's not just, when you say the word culture, we're not just talking about black culture. There's culture everywhere. There's also a thing called American culture. Yeah. He can't tell how I speak is any different than KB Goes Live when KB is from the South.
Just call me a culture vulture.
For him not to be able to tell us apart, KB has a Southern accent. There is no reason why you would get us mixed up. That's insane. So after he planted these seeds that led to this other YouTuber attacking me out of nowhere, thinking I was KB using black culture as a cover-up, me and this guy argued back and forth through messages until the dude realized he got played. Matthew had set this entire thing up, dragging 2 successful black creators into drama just to entertain himself. The YouTuber eventually sent me screenshots of Matthew's original messages, which revealed this entire chain reaction. Turns out Matthew's master plan was to spread lies about me being anonymous, roped in 2 other creators, and try to frame me as someone exploiting black culture. And prior to this, remember the original stream, he was planting the seed about my voice being modded. It seems that he was setting this up from the jump. And it's embarrassing.
That's
like,
weird.
bro, you really sat down and thought this is the move.
Just call me a culture vulture.
And what's even more embarrassing for Matthew, KB Goes Live tried to reach out to him numerous times before all this nonsense even blew up. Like, this man had every opportunity to clear the air, squash the drama, and act like a grown-up. Matthew, you literally tried to stalk and bully this man in his comments. Come on, man. What are you doing for real? Like, what were you thinking? Refusing to respond only shows you wanted the drama to build so you could sit back and watch the mess you started. Matthew, how you gonna start fires then act shocked when the flames burn you? You play victim too much, gang. You might as well go for a
What did he
Netflix
turn
role or a
into?
Tubi role or something. You need to be the next damsel in distress the way you play victim.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Of course I exposed him on Twitter because someone had to. And it didn't stop there. Not in this film. Matthew's response was just stupid as hell. Haha, man, I didn't spread this about you at all. I had a bunch of people hit me up accusing you of being this KB Goes Live dude. I'm sure you've seen it in your comments before also. All I did was ask someone that's close with KB if he really thought it was you. And then the supposed email that was sent to What's the Dirt that made him go turn into Sherlock Holmes and all this shit. It says, "What's up, Matt? The guy running the deleted channel is KB Goes Live. He's a white kid from pretending to be black. Hence the reason for the voice in the anonymous channel. Just giving you the heads up, buddy. The rest is up to you." That buddy part is very revealing though. Oh, that's very, very revealing. Buddy? Who says that? Who says that? So then, of course, someone comments the feed and says, "Be a man, take ownership for your fuck-ups. I know you fucked up a lot this past couple of months, but having morals will go a long way for you and may heal your condition without the need of medication." And then What's the Dirt will respond with a message that a lot of people didn't like, and he ended up getting jumped in the comments. "Haha, nah, off meds is bad. I've never used my illness to justify behavior either. I wish someone would point out a time where I did that. If people only knew the volume of time I spend on the phone."
Oh wait, what illness does he have?
"With people struggling with their mental health, most of them black men, actually."
Oh my god.
Just call me a culture vulture.
Yeah, they told his ass in the comments with that one.
Ew,
I only grabbed
that's
a couple.
so disgusting. Like, I'm out here helping you Negroes. Gross. He's gross, bro.
One of them quoted him and said, "Black men actually laugh out loud." And Matthew's response, "Well, yeah, because I'm accused of being racist, which I am fucking not. Nowhere even close." And then another user responds and says, "What the hell is wrong with you?" So then it goes into What's the Dirt responding to me once again. He says, "I wasn't planting a seed, man. I'm close with, and he's good friends with KB. Multiple people have told me that it's you for months now. I wouldn't circulate it because there's no proof." And mind you, he responded to me because I asked him why didn't he reach out to me, why didn't he hit me up? Why didn't you message me, try to get on a call with me, anything? You just went ahead and just did all this, and that was his response to that. So you guys do notice all this dude does is focus on race, right?
Just call me a culture vulture.
His main objective, his primary mission, was to make people believe I'm white. Why? Why was that your focal point?
Who cares?
Why? What is the reason? It's to the point where that email might have not even been anybody. It probably was himself messaging himself. I wouldn't pass it by him. Matthew really should have just taken my word and believed I'm a black creator with substance and the ability to speak intellectually. The fact that he couldn't wrap his head around the idea of a black person producing content like mine says a lot about his warped and prejudiced mindset. It's almost like in his head, black people aren't capable of creating anything thoughtful or high quality. Because why else would he do it? Why would he even assume I was white in the first place? It's just another layer to his already exposed pattern of his out-of-touch prejudiced thinking. What exactly would a white creator gain from pretending to be black? Well, my entire channel is built around uplifting black culture, black pride, and black history. Almost every video I post centers around celebrating and defending the culture while calling out vultures like you. My very first video on you focused on your prejudiced remarks about Kendrick and Justin, exposing your ignorance. So why on earth would you even assume I'm a white man? It doesn't add up. The math isn't mathing. The math isn't mathing, Matthew. It's not. This dude really proved he hasn't learned a damn thing. He's still out here acting clueless, talking about being a therapist for his black friends like that clears his record. He's over here parading, "I save black people and I'm their friend therapist." That's some of the most self-serving, cringeworthy nonsense ever. Bruh, that's not how you prove you're not prejudiced. I have a black friend vibes, and it's straight up pathetic. Nobody's buying it, Matthew. Then there's the mess with the company man. After his prejudiced remarks about Justin, man, you would think Matthew would sit and reflect and maybe take like a culture awareness class or some shit. But nah, this bozo was on someone else's stream talking shit like he didn't care about what he did, acting like it wasn't that serious when he was blatantly making prejudiced comments about Justin. Nah, bro, you were called out because you deserved it, and now you're trying to play victim. His so-called apology was obviously not even an apology. It was just him trying to save his already sinking credibility. And what's up with this Kendrick Lamar obsession, bro? This dude started using the phrase Kendrick stands like it's a new slur. And that wouldn't be a problem. Honestly, it really wouldn't be a problem considering the fact that Kendrick supporters call Drake fans OVOs. But every time Matthew says it, he follows it up with phrases like Messiah, Jesus, Savior, or cult, making it pretty obvious, pretty clear with his translucent ass. He's trying to code it as a dig at black people. And that's beyond weird. And don't forget, remember I told you before, that translucent word, that's for people that are prejudiced, nobody else. If you're not prejudiced, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Blaming his downfall on Kendrick's fans is just pathetic. Nobody made you say the dumb shit you said, Matthew. Nobody forced you to act like this. That's all you. Instead of taking the responsibility, you're out here using coded language and doubling down on your nonsense. It's transparent. You're clear. You're glass. We see you. It's pathetic. And honestly, it's embarrassing to watch.
Just call me a culture vulture.
This is where the whole culture thing comes in. I'll be very brief on this. Y'all know how I feel about the word culture and all that. Like, it's just an overused joint. I don't understand how anyone can say what's the dirt's not from the culture when he knows so much about hip-hop. Someone will have to break that down to me. He knows a lot about hip-hop, but I just don't understand, regardless if a person is from India, if they're white, if they're from Canada, y'all gotta help define that culture thing for me. Because when someone knows so much about hip-hop, I don't understand how you can say they're not from the culture. So maybe y'all gotta define, maybe we just have different definitions of what from the culture means.
All right, now this right here is exactly why Matthew doesn't get it and probably never will. He's out here feeling validated, thinking he's untouchable because a couple of his black friends co-signed his nonsense.
That's such a goofy thing to say. You know what?
And gassed him up, telling him he's cultured just because he studies hip-hop. Like, congratulations, Matthew. You studied some bars and wrote down
Clearly he didn't study hard enough.
some history notes, and that makes you down. He's convinced it's just one certain fan base that doesn't like him, so he brushes off all the criticism, and he keeps doubling down on his out of touch and prejudice takes. Instead of reflecting on why people are calling him out, he's using these black cosigns as a shield to keep being ignorant, and that's why he is the way he is now, and why he'll never learn a damn thing. We have to do better, man.
What the fuck is wrong with you niggas?
I'm tired of my people making excuses instead of educating. That doesn't mean you can't be friends with someone from another culture. Just educate them, especially when they're wrong. When I visit my Latino friend's house, his mom only speaks fluent Spanish. We all grew up around Latinos. I eat Hispanic food frequently. Shit, I love tacos. I love Taco Tuesday. What could I say? But when I'm at their house, my friend always has to translate for me because that's her primary language. Even if I study Spanish, listen to Spanish music, and learn about their traditions, it wouldn't mean she would see me as a part of her culture. She would respect that I love and appreciate her culture, and she'd honor the effort I put into understanding it. But she'd still see me as a guest, not someone who inherently belongs to it. So why would this situation be any different? How is it hard to understand when it comes to Black Americans or hip-hop culture? Imagine me studying...
Nobody wants us to have anything, okay? That's what it is. It's like, oh, what you mean he's not a part of the culture? Because he's not. Are you dumb? What are you talking about? We can't just easily be a part of other people's culture. So why are you trying to easily accept him, man? This is the problem. This is the problem with some people. Oh, yeah, they invited to the cookout. We want to be all-inclusive with some people when they're not all-inclusive with us. And then you want to be all-inclusive with people who say idiotic, prejudiced things like this. That What's the Dirt has said, or Matthew.
All the iconic figures, music, and legends of the Hispanic culture, then walking into their home and debating them about it, dismissing and disrespecting one of their beloved artists and saying insensitive things the way Matthew did. They'll likely lose all respect for me. They might feel like I'm mocking their culture, and some might even think I'm being prejudiced and... When you approach someone else's culture, especially as an outsider, there's a line between admiration and entitlement. You can appreciate it, but you don't get to dictate how it's valued or understood by the people who live it every day. Respect goes both ways, and overstepping that line undermines the very respect you claim to have. Some things can't be fully understood unless you live them. It's one thing to love and appreciate music or culture, but it's another to act like you know the experience better than the people who lived it. That's where respect comes in, knowing when to observe.
Speak on it!
I mean, the same could be told by rock and roll and doo-wop. I'm not gonna lie, I love all music. A big part of that is because I love movies, and so many of them use old songs, like doo-wop or classic rock. But even if I memorize every song, do you think I could sit down with my grandmother and score her on doo-wop songs she grew up with? No matter how much I studied, I wasn't there to feel the impact or understand what they were going through at that time. The same goes for rock. You think I could tell a white man what he felt or what was happening when he was living that rock and roll lifestyle? Now, I know rock and roll came from Chuck Berry, but I'm talking about the height of metal rock, when rock became the center of music. I'm not talking about about back in the 60s and 50s, because yes, rock and roll stemmed from black people. It did. Came from Chuck Berry. But I'm talking about when heavy metal took over, AC/DC and Aerosmith and all those guys. You think I could tell a white man about his culture? Because that's considered culture. You can't simply study a culture and assume you're a part of it. Cultural belonging is shaped by lived experiences, traditions. While you can appreciate and respect a culture, being a part of it requires more than intellectual knowledge.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. It's starting to get dark in here. The lighting is about to get bad real quick. But y'all definitely check out the rest of his video. I will link it down below. But yeah, it's so sad because I did like What's the Dirt's videos. I reacted to a couple of them. His breakdowns were decent. You know, I could tell that he is a listener of hip hop and, you know, he appreciated the culture. So, you know, I gave him a chance, but it's not until he started to veer into this ignorant shit that I was like, all right, now you're doing too much. Oh, Drake is, you know, half black and he says the N-word, so he's just as black as Kendrick. Like, he was just saying a lot of ignorant shit. And it was like, all right, this is the problem. So I really side-eye a lot of these non-black people who really try to study hip-hop, because I feel like it gets to a certain point where they feel like they know best. And it's like, okay, you've listened to Nas and Kendrick on repeat, so now you think that, you know, you are in the culture and you know what's going on and you have the, you know, education to speak on it. You haven't lived that experience, so shut the fuck up. Act like a guest in this space, and some of them don't, and he's a perfect example of that, and it's really disgusting. Like, you can appreciate it, cool, but the way that some of them go about it, it really rubs me the wrong way. I don't like it, and it does come across like you low-key racist. Like, you may have black friends and you might like black stuff, but you having this superiority complex, like, I know better than y'all because I studied it. That's the issue, and that's how he comes across. So yeah, he spoke on this very well. I agree with everything he said. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.